What is going on, everybody? So today we are going to be doing something a little different. I'm not going to be working on the bus today. We are actually going to be working on something else. Something that is, it has to do with the bus, and I'll explain that here in a little bit. But right now, let's go ahead and walk over. We're going to go walk around so I can show you what we're going to be working on today. All right, guys, so today this is what I'm going to be working on. This is my enduro motorcycle, dirt bike / dirt bike, whatever you want to call it. So this is a bike that I bought. I am the original owner on this bike. I bought this bike brand new in 2018. It is called a CSC TT 250. It is a 250 street legal enduro motorcycle. Like I said, I bought this bike brand new. Unfortunately, a few years ago, I was in an accident where my leg got very damaged, and I had to have surgery, reconstructive surgery on my leg. If some of you actually know about this, and this was actually something I used to ride daily, but when that accident happened, I was not able to ride it anymore. So it has been sitting in storage ever since. So it's been sitting in storage for about 2.5, almost 3 years. So unfortunately, when my accident happened, I was currently riding this bike, and when my accident happened, I wasn't able to properly store it. So unfortunately, there is old gas in it. It doesn't run. Currently, it does not run. It's been sitting, so it needs some work now, unfortunately. But that's what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to be starting on it today I need to rebuild the carburetor. So today, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get all the gas drained out of it, and we're going to rebuild the carburetor today. So the reason why we're going to be stepping to this, a couple reasons. One, I get a lot of people. I have a few followers and a few friends that are always saying, "Hey, why don't you post videos of some of the other stuff you do? We know you work on a lot of stuff, and we'd like to start seeing that." So anyway, that's what I've been doing. So given that this is not anything ghost hunting or anything paranormal, which is what this channel is actually for, but it's also, I kind of like to I like to do this thing where I keep you guys along the ride to show you what it's there's other things besides ghost hunting. So reason why this is going to be something that has to do with the bus, and it's going to be posted under one of the bus videos, is so when I'm going to be out traveling eventually, when the bus is in full-time use, I am going to be traveling, and I will not be towing a car with me. The hearse is just way too big. I'm not going to be towing it with the bus. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to be taking this bike around with me. So this bike will actually be loaded onto the bus, and when I'm on the road, and this will be my form of transportation. So anyway, today I need to start on getting it ready to go, getting it back on the road. This is going to be a course of a few videos, because it does need a few things, and I do have to order parts for it. Not everything I can just fix right now, so I do have some parts on order for it now, but I'm going to start by getting the old gas drained out of it today and get the carburetor rebuilt. So anyway, let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and get it pushed around the bus. I'm going to move it over to the workshop and get the gas drained out of it. All right, guys, here we are. Got the bike pulled around. I'm going to go ahead and get this gas drained out of here. Unfortunately, like I said, I did leave this bike sitting for a number of years, and I never drained the gas. So there was gas in the tank, there was gas in the carburetor. So what I'm going to do is I've got my gas can, got a couple tools that I need. I'm going to sit here, I'm just going to drain all this gas out right now, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull the bike inside the workshop, because it's really hot out here. But I didn't want to don't want to drain this gas inside the workshop. So I'm going to go ahead and get this gas drained out real quick, and then we're going to move the bike inside, and I'm going to continue from there. Alright, guys, so that is done. Gas is drained out. We're going to go ahead. Like I said, it's way too hot out here. You can obviously tell I have no covered parking to work on the bike, or really anything. So I'm going to be moving the bike into the workshop. So I'm going to go ahead and push it up in there now. Yeah, I've cleared a spot for it, and yeah, it's going to make it a little crowded in there for about a week or two while I get this bike fixed up, waiting on parts and everything. But beats doing it out here in the sun, and I know we're going to have some storms coming in, so I really don't want to have to worry about it. So I'm going to go ahead and get the bike pushed up inside the workshop so I can get this carburetor off and start getting to work. Alright, guys, so I got the bike inside. I actually had to take it back out and turn it around because it just made more sense to have this just have it this way. It's easier to move and just kind of get to the stuff I need to. Given this bike isn't too heavy, it only weighs about 200 pounds, so it's actually kind of easy for me to kind of pick it up and move it around, which is actually nice, because if you notice, it's very cramped in here. I don't have a lot of space, so it's going to be nice. It's going to be kind of crowded in here for about a week and a half. But like I said, it's okay. It's better than working outside in the heat and the sun, because I have no covered parking out there, and guys, it's hot out there. So anyway, so the bike's going to be in here. I'm going to be able to have the workbench right here where I'm going to be working on it, so it just makes more sense to have it right here. So like I said, I'm going to get down to work on it today. I'm going to be taking the carburetor off and rebuilding it. I do have a kind of a little rundown. That's what I'm going to be doing today, is working on rebuilding the carburetor. But a little rundown of it is this bike needs a couple parts, so we're going to see that over the course. I'm going to post a few videos about it. I do have new plastics coming for it. For the tank, and a couple others that have gotten messed up over just from sitting in storage and whatever. I do have to do a new clutch cable. I need a new battery for it, so it needs a little bit of work. Got to change the fluids out. So anyways, like I said, it's going to be a little crowded in here. The bike's going to be sitting here while I work on it for about a week and a half. I'm waiting on, like I said, I'm waiting on parts. So anyway, I'm going to just get right down to it. I'm going to pull the tools out that I need, and I'm going to go ahead and get this carburetor off. So when we come back, I'll kind of show you the carburetor out, and I'll show you how I'm going to be taking apart and rebuilding it. So we'll be back here in a few minutes. Alright guys, so that took a minute, but carburetor is out of the bike. I ended up taking, you can see it's a little more torn apart now. I ended up taking the tank off. I'm actually going to take the tank out. I took the tank off to completely clean it. There was so much old gas in it, and it just smells like, if you guys know anything about gas and vehicles, if they sit for a while, if your gas smells like paint thinner, it's no good. And so I decided just to take the gas tank completely off. I'm going to deal with that later on. But right now I'm going to go ahead. Like I said, I got the carburetor out, and I'm going to go ahead and get this completely taken apart, and I'm going to get it all cleaned out. So I'm not going to film any of that whole process, just because it takes a long time. And not only that, if you look on YouTube, there's plenty of tutorial videos on how to rebuild these carburetors. So anyway, I'm going to get down to taking this apart and get it cleaned, and I'll kind of check back in with you guys when I'm about halfway through it, so you can see where it's at. So I'm going to get down to tearing this apart now. We'll see you guys here in a few minutes. Alright guys, so I'm back. So one thing I'm going to say is I completely forgot to record the whole segment of where I had the carburetor taken apart. I had all the jets out. I got everything cleaned up and rebuilt the whole carburetor, replaced all the O-rings, seals, blew it, cleaned everything out, all the jets and channels. I completely forgot to just hit record on my camera for that. So unfortunately I missed all that. But like I said, if this is something you guys are looking into and needing to do, there are plenty of tutorials on YouTube on how to rebuild this carburetor. But anyway, so on to moving forward. So the carburetor is completely rebuilt. I have everything replaced, everything's cleaned back together. I do have to still obviously get it back in the bike and drop the throttle needle in and spring. These don't go back in until, because I took these out as well to clean them, make sure that they were in good condition still. So I just have to get this back in the bike. I'm actually probably going to wait on doing this. I do have to be at work here in a couple hours. I still have the tank off. I still want to completely drain the tank and clean it out. So I'm going to get on that, and then I'll probably actually get back to this tomorrow and get it all back in the bike. Anyway guys, I'm going to go ahead and stop for now. Like I said, carburetor's done, completely rebuilt, cleaned out, ready to go. I'm going to move on to the tank probably tomorrow morning, get that all finished up, all cleaned out, and then I'm going to move on to the next part of the bike from there. So we will see you guys tomorrow. All right, so what is going on, guys? So getting a little bit later of a start than I had planned. I had some stuff I had to take care of this morning, so I wasn't able to get right back on the bike. So we're going to step in the workshop real quick. I've had a chance to do a few little things. Like I said, I was going to get the tank all flushed out and fixed up. So let's go ahead and step in the workshop now. I'm going to go ahead and show you what I've done so far, where we're at, and what we're going to be doing on the bike today. Like I said, when I left off, I had finished rebuilding the carburetor. It's not back in the bike yet, but I did have a chance to get the tank, all the old gas flushed out of the tank. I also went through, I've cleaned out all the lines for the bike. Got all the old gas out of it, made sure there's old gas. took the petcock off, made sure all of this was all cleaned out, replaced all the seals, took the sending unit out, got the sending unit completely cleaned. We'll see, it should work just fine, but we'll see once I get it hooked back up into the bike. The bike's still sitting. Last I left off, you guys remember, I got the carburetor completely rebuilt. I rebuilt the whole thing, cleaned it, got that all ready to go. Everything is cleaned out. All the lines on the bike are cleaned out. I haven't drained the oil yet. I haven't done the oil change. I'm actually probably going to do that in the next video. So actually what I'm going to do before getting the carburetor back in and getting the tank on is I'm actually going to wheel the bike outside. It's actually very dirty, especially, I mean, I don't know if you guys can really see it. I'll flip the camera around here in a second so you guys can see. I'm going to take the bike out, and I'm going to take with the air compressor, I'm going to kind of just blow it all off. I'm going to get the bike kind of cleaned up. So, I mean, it's not going to be, I'm not going to get it spotless. It is a dirt bike. It's an enduro. I'm going to be taking it down dirt roads, so it's not going to look like it just came from the factory. But I kind of want to get it cleaned up before I get the tank back on and get the carburetor on, so then I can actually, because I got some other stuff I got to do to it, and I'd like it to be kind of clean while I work on it, so I'm not just having to deal with a bunch of dirt and debris. If you guys can see, it's just really dirty from just sitting in storage. I mean, it's got some spider webs on it. It's got some debris sitting all over it. Just gonna go ahead right now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the air compressor fired up. I'm gonna wheel the bike outside so we can just get this blown off. I'm not gonna be putting the carburetor back on first, so I am gonna be covering the intake and the air box so I don't get any debris in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the bike wheeled outside right now so I can get started on cleaning it up. Alright guys, so the bike is cleaned. Well, cleaned as much as I'm gonna get it. And like I said, I'm not bringing it back. Obviously, it's not gonna be factory spec. It's not gonna look like it just rolled off a showroom floor. It is a dirt bike, so it's gonna be used. So anyway, here it is. Like I said, kind of just got it wiped down. It's not completely spotless, but I wanted it to be a little clean for when I get the carburetor, you know, when I'm working on it, getting the carburetor back in and the gas tank on. Just kind of figured it'd be nice to have it a little bit cleaner. So with that being done, I'm going to go ahead and wheel the bike back in the workshop, and I'm going to get going on getting the carburetor back on it, and then we're going to move to the tank from there. So I'm going to go ahead and wheel it inside right now, and we're going to get going on that. All right guys, so I got the bike pulled back in. I'm going to go ahead and get started on reinstalling the carburetor. This shouldn't take too long. There's literally only literally just two bolts that are just holding it on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start by getting the carburetor back in. I'm going to get the throttle cable all hooked back up, and then we're going to move on from there. So I'm going to start bolting this carburetor back in right now. Alright guys, that's it. Carburetor is reinstalled. Everything's tightened down, everything's adjusted, all the lines are reconnected. Throttle cable and spring are all back and reinstalled. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to move on to mounting the tank back on, because I need to get all the lines and wires connected to the carburetor, and I got to plug in the sending unit. So we're going to get the tank back on now. Okay guys, so the tank is all reconnected, all the lines are hooked back up to the carburetor. So we're going to go ahead and call this part done, and we're going to move on. Okay, so now that is all, the tank is all installed, the carburetor is back installed, I'm going to go ahead and reinstall the seat. So one thing about the seat is this is the original seat for it. As you can see, it sat in storage, so it's gotten kind of dried out and rotted. So I am going to be replacing this seat soon, but right now these seats are kind of expensive. Honestly, other than the motor, the seat is actually one of the most expensive parts on this bike. This is a fairly cheap bike. Parts are fairly cheap on it. It's part of the reason why I bought it, for if you ever got to do future repairs. A lot of the stuff is actually very cheap. The seat is not one of those parts though. So I am going to be, like I said, I'm going to be replacing this eventually. I can't do it right now, but I'm going to have to be able to use it for now. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this seat bolted back on, and we're going to move on. All right, that's it guys. So the seat goes on real easy. It's just slides in, 2 bolts, that's it. So let's go ahead and move on. All right guys, so the next part we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and remove the old battery. Like I said, this sat in storage for about 2.5, almost 3 years. The battery was connected. It was never left on a battery tender, so this battery is completely dead. I've tested it. It's no good, so I'm just going to ditch it. So I've already disconnected the battery leads for it, and what's nice about, I'm just actually just taking it out right now, what's nice about this bike is how easy this battery is to get out. It's literally just a little strap, and it just slides right out. So ditching the old battery, it's no good. I went and bought a new one, so I'm going to go ahead and put that new battery in right now, get it all connected and hooked back up, and then we'll move on. Alright guys, so new batteries connected. It's all put in, mounted, and connected and hooked up. So let's go ahead and move on to the next part. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab the keys, and I'm going to go and kind of run through the electrical system just to make sure everything still works properly. I'm not going to crank it over because I haven't changed the oil yet, so I don't want to try cranking this over. That oil's been sitting for a very long time, and I just don't want to crank it over. Plus, it's just not ready. I have no gas in it or nothing. So I'm going to go through. I'm going to test all the other electrical on the bike and make sure everything's still working properly. So I'm going to get on doing that now. Alright guys, well, all the electrical seems to be working. I did kind of tap the starter a little bit just to make sure that was working. I didn't fully turn it over. So all the electrical looks good. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the last part of this right now, and then, well, the last part of this video. Like I said, I've still got parts on order, so there will be another video, but we're going to move on to the last part of this. So let's go ahead and move on to it now. Alright guys, so for this last part of the video, actually kind of a surprise. I wasn't really expecting these to show up already. I ordered these just a few days ago, and I didn't think they were going to send them out to me so quick. So given CSC Motorcycles is the place where I bought the bike from, is out in Azusa, California, so it's not too far away, but I didn't think they were going to send me these this quick. So I want to thank you guys over there at CSC Motorcycles for getting these out to me so quick. This isn't anything that's necessary for the bike to get back on the road or running, but it's something that I wanted to replace. So I already unboxed, I already opened the box, and I've already unwrapped one of them, so I'm going to go ahead and just pull one out and just show it to you so I can tell you what it is. So I picked up a set of the new plastics. These go on the gas tank on the side, which I'll turn the camera around here in a minute and I'll show you. So when I put this bike in storage, these got heavily damaged. They were not able to be repaired. They were warped, they were cracked, broken. One of them was broken, actually completely broken in half. So I wasn't able to repair them, so I went ahead and I just bought a new set. These were actually really cheap, and I figured, hey, why not? You know, I want it to look nice, and I want it to look complete. So anyway, I picked up the set of these. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera around here in a minute, and I can show you guys where they go, and we're gonna get to putting these on along with the rest of the plastics, and then that's gonna be it for this video. So anyway, I'm gonna flip the camera around and I'll show you where these are gonna go, and then we're gonna get to bolting them on. Okay, so this is where the new plastic fenders I was just showing you where they mount onto. I'm gonna go ahead and grab one of them now and show you. So this is this is how they bolt on, and so right about there. So this is actually going to be, like I said, it looks really nice. Not something that was necessary for the bike to run to get it back on the road, but I really wanted to replace these. So I'm going to get down to getting these bolted on to the bike right now, and then we're going to put on, reinstall the rest of the plastics, and then we're going to go ahead and call it a day. And I'm going to end this video. So let's get on to bolting these plastics back on now. Alright guys, so the new tank plastics are on. They look really nice. Like I said, the original ones were just beyond repair. You'll get a better look at them once I get them outside. Once I get it outside. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to finish the bike. I'm going to go ahead and get the side plastics back on down here and along the other side, and then we're going to go ahead and move the bike outside and do a final walk around so you can see how it looks. Alright guys, so that's it. So I got the bike back together. I'm going to flip the camera around here in a second. So it all went back together. Everything went real smooth. It's looking way better, and it's definitely cleaned up. So I'm going to go ahead and we can go ahead and check it out now. All the plastics are back on. As you can see, the new tank plastics are on and they look good. So she is coming back together quite well. Carburetor's rebuilt, tank is cleaned out, ready to go, new battery. So yeah, we're going to continue. It's coming along quite nicely. Don't mind the seat. Like I said, it's ugly, it's rotted out, but I'm going to be replacing this soon. Just got to run that one for now. So anyway, guys, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and that's going to end it for this video. I am going to actually continue working on the bike. I'm going to go and start changing the oil and doing some more work on it. I've got plenty of daylight left, but that's going to be in the next video coming up. So I want to get this one out, just showing the first beginning of the process. So anyway, guys, thanks for sticking around for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for sticking around. It's been fun getting this bike back up and running. Soon we'll have it running again and it'll be back on the road. So anyway, guys, I hope you have a great day and we will see you in the next video.